What are we about to do?
I don't know. Steering rack, that's all I know.
Well, if you have a 240 that is 20 to 30 years old, you probably have steering rack problems because 30-year-old rubber does not like to hold fluid in the right places. So my rack has been leaking for quite a while. That is from parking my car here for like 40, maybe a minute. It starts puddling. So yeah, I gotta fix that with a new remanufactured rack. So today, well actually tonight, we're gonna be replacing my steering rack as well as replacing my transmission mount because it's still grinding in 4th gear. In the last video I flushed out the transmission and put in Redline MT90. It's definitely not grinding as much, but it's still doing it. I'm still convinced it's not the transmission because honestly KA and SR trainees aren't that weak. And mine should only have 60,000 or so miles on it. So I feel like it might be the short shifter, or it might be the transmission getting put at awkward angles with that worn out transmission mount. So we're gonna see what happens. Honestly, how long do you think this is gonna take?
I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I haven't watched any videos on a rack install, and I haven't read any like write-ups or anything. So, oh gosh.
Yeah, I started watching a video last night, but...
Did you really?
Yeah, well, I was playing Fortnite, so... Having a hard time there, huh?
I'm getting there. I only put the car on 1-inch wood, so I don't have that much room to play with. So taking a journey underneath the car, we have, of course, the outer tie rods on both sides, which need to come off. And then there are the steering rack brackets. There's one there and one there. Yeah, and then looking at the column, there is this, which connects to the steering wheel. I'm not exactly sure how that comes off just yet, but I'll figure it out, I'm sure. And then, yeah, just the rack will drop right out. Get that cotter pin out, boy. Out here blocking. Kind of hard. There we go. Alright, so all the bolts are loosened on the rack. Just got to drain the rack, which is taking longer than expected. There we go. So yeah, after the rack drains out, just got to fully remove everything and then drop the new rack back in. Ugh. Please don't drip anything. Yo. Let's get it. Sweet. Can you bench press it?
I don't know.
You don't really have that space though?
Nope. Well, here you go.
Appreciate it. Yeah, now I have these ISR braided lines that I don't really need, so I'm just going to use the stock hard lines on the new rack. Then I also have P2M and inner tie rods, S14 outers. I am moving the S14 outers. I don't know if I'll be running the P2M with the spacer. I do have a spacer on the rack as well. I'm going to try driving for a little bit without it, see how I like it, because I don't even remember what it's like to have a stock 240 rack. Dude, so look at the size difference between the P2M, which are basically TNs, versus stock S13 inner tie rods. I'm going to be running these for now because I'm kind of too lazy. And yeah, you have so much more thread space on the P2M models. Yeah, other than that, this rack is super clean, so I like it. It'll look nice underneath the car. So I'm pretty hyped for this. Take back everything I just said because I realized S14 tie rods do not fit on S13s. So yeah, the tie rods and the lock rings themselves don't fit. So I will now be transferring over my P2M inner tie rods to this new rack. It's kind of cool though, I guess, because then I'll have the spacers, which I've learned to like. So yeah.
Bye-bye.
We disassembled, or I took the boots off and on the rack to prep it But yeah, we couldn't get them off completely, so we're just gonna get the rack in the car, bolt it down, and then I'll be able to use an adjustable wrench to take the inner tie rods off to replace them with my P2M model.
How are you tired already, bro? Weak sauce.
Let's this is going. So right now, we got the rack all in and assembled with the new inner tie rods and my S14 outer tie rods on. So I'm just bleeding the car with some auto trans fluid. Everything looks good so far, no leaks underneath. So once you don't fuck up like me and overfill it, but once you do that, you just want to turn the steering wheel lock to lock a couple times, and you'll see the fluid drop and all the air bubbles come out. So we're just finishing up by getting the wheels back on the car. Then we're just going to break out the toe plates again, do a quick alignment, and then just get this car out of here, and we're going to go to bed for the night. Forget what time we started, but it'll say in the video. But it is now 11:30.
It was 8:47.
We'll see if you're right.
I am. Okay, last one.
And so just finishing up the toe with the toe plates. I've always run a 0 toe on all my cars.
Even the Civic?
Well, I did get that car professionally aligned when I had it, but I don't remember what it was set to. But yeah, I guess I don't really have that much experience with other alignment settings. I've never really played with it. I've always just gone with 0 right off the bat. So yeah, we definitely didn't get as much done tonight as I wanted to, but that's okay. Things went south and took a lot more time than expected, so everything worked out.
We didn't even get on video too that we couldn't get your car started for like an hour.
Yeah.
That was also another issue.
So Matthew was here earlier today, and we were trying to get my SR started for at least an hour.
Yeah.
We replaced the entire engine chassis ground setup. And I think my starter's going out, so I'm just going to order a new starter pretty soon just for peace of mind. But yeah, that was a huge delay. He actually ended up going home for a little bit and then coming back to my house to help me with the rack. So yeah, that explains a lot of issues that we had. We also... So yeah, once I actually did get it started, we drove to 7-Eleven to get some ices. And I turned the engine off, we went inside, then we came back. I was literally sitting there just with my foot on the clutch with the key in the ignition, turning it. I must have turned it at least 75 different times until it finally started.
We waited for it was probably like 3 minutes of just silence.
Yeah.
Just hoping.
It's very unreliable right now, and I've checked my wiring. Everything should be good, and all my grounds are there. My battery's good. I even tried jumping it, but I honestly think it's a starter because when I do turn the key, there's just no cranking at all. So it's definitely a starter issue. So that entire toe alignment took a lot longer than expected. It is now 12:17 in the morning. So yeah, we didn't end up doing my transmission install today. Well, it was Friday, it's now technically Saturday. I'm going to do everything on Sunday. I have a couple more engine refreshers to do with the SR before autocrossing in June. But yeah, huge thank you to Matthew for helping me out very late at night to get that rack installed. It's really cool to be able to look under my 240 and not see a leak, which hasn't been a thing since I've owned that car. So I'm kind of low-key excited for that, to be completely honest. Anyways, it's getting really late. I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.